Colin, it's been 7 months since you've last uploaded a video on this channel. What the hell have you been doing? I'll explain. Now, over this time period, if you are a main channel watcher, you will know we have got an awesome tunnel door. I am driving around in a Hilux Back to the Future inspired pickup truck, and a magnet suspension bike now exists in the world. Of course, we've had the Secret Santa. I've had all the different merches with the bundle boxes and the brand new t-shirt, which is still available. But of course, there's been other things happening in the background, which I'm going to bring you up to speed with. And of course, I'm going to bring you to the present day and what is happening right now with the underground garage and the car lift. Right then, Colin, take us through it. Okay, let's roll ourselves back to July. The most important thing that happened then was my neighbour's drive got sorted. Now, this happened because Mark Marshall, another YouTuber who goes around doing people's gardens and driveways, contacted me and said, Colin, I want to do your driveway. But I said, Mark, it's not ready yet. I need to finish the lift first. But if you're that keen, I said, you can do next doors. So he did. Oh, this video is sponsored by Incogni. Should have said that earlier. So, of course, we start off by digging the old drive up, flattening it all out with hardcore and taking all the stuff away. I was a little bit worried, though, about my metal fence. Oh, you can go easy on my fence, boy! Then, with it all dug out and levelled, the edging stones are placed in. Already, it's looking miles better. Now, the following neighbour's driveway is actually slightly higher than my neighbour's driveway, so Mark decided to put this steel retaining wall in. Because, of course, we love steel round here. So, this setting, levelled up with a bit of energetic bashing, it's then time to cover the drive in porous concrete.
You know the job's going right when Chris Bibby turns up.
Whoa, Chris Bibby! Bam! No, we've heard enough of that, Colin.
Chris Bibby.
Bam,
got Callum. Got Callum's dad. We just call Dad and I actually know his name. And then we've got Mark Marshall. And because all these people have come together in harmony, we've got a drive nearly. Well, the start of a drive.
Now, porous concrete is basically the same as normal concrete, but you just don't have any sand in it. So it's just the pebbles and the cement powder. You go over it with a whacker, which kind of puts like a smooth top on it, but it's technically still full of holes, a bit like a giant crispy cake. So when the water sits on it, it can go through all the gaps and therefore making a porous drive. Now, while that sets, what's happening with this 3D rock wall, Colin? Well, here we are, loading down the boxes of all the bits of wall which you guys have 3D printed yourselves. Now, if you don't know what's happening here, essentially I did a social post asking for 192 people to print out a little 150 by 150 square of the rock wall so I could put together like a viewer-made version of this rock wall to see what it's like. So this is us loading all the boxes down there to get out and hopefully put together. Now, this is not quite how it was supposed to happen, but you'll see more about that in the main video.
Okay, so this is the 3D rock wall as it stands at the minute. Now, as you can see, it is an assortment of all different colours and textures and printing styles and everything like that. But, you know, anyone that's done part of this, thank you very much, much appreciated. Sorry this is taking so long. There is still a few little squares missing, but I've printed them up myself, so I've just got to get them painted and add them in. Now, what essentially I'm going to do is group it into sections, stick and glue it all together, and then offer it up into the hole. Now, it's got to fit in there, and the thing that we are most interested on is the support things around the back here. Oh, I've got the light switched off, you can't see them. These beams, it kind of moulds around them, so is it going to fit in there properly? In fact, let me go and turn these lights back on. They're just on the plug at the minute down here. Yeah. Oh look, now we can see, Colin. So yeah, will it mould round all them? Will it fit in there? Now, just as a general overview of how this place is holding up, there's a bit of a leak in the temporary thingy. That drips down there. Not much, obviously, because it just drips, dries off, and then that's it. It's barely anything. But other than that, condensation's all stopped, none of that. It's not going rusty or anything, or any more than it would do just from the air, so it's going to want another little coating of WD-40 or something at some point. But yes, it's just here waiting for my car lift, which I'll talk about and show you a little bit of progress on shortly. But anyway, as of course with every video, oh look at that, that's a shot. It's sponsor time!
Everything I do in this shed leaves a trace. Cake up the walls, burns in the carpet, turkey on the ceiling. And it's the same when you do anything online, which is where Incogni, the sponsor of this video, comes in. every website you visit, every purchase leaves little bits of data behind, and this data can be collected by data brokers, online directors, and people search sites. These sites then sell it on to people that don't necessarily use it for good. To search and find all this information yourself would take hours. Well, in my case, 179 hours. Incogni gives you a real-time progress report on how many places had your information and how many they have removed. But this isn't just a quick check when you sign up, they constantly go back to these sites and recheck they don't have any of your information, as you most likely have left more for them to have collected. And they've now added a new feature that if you find your information on a website, you can submit the link and their custom removals tool can take action. So, take back control of your data with Incogni and reduce cold calls, junk emails and scam attempts. If you go to the link in the description and use the code TOOMUCH, you'll get 60% off an annual plan. What a deal. Now then, I think it's time we got some resin down on this drive.
So we've got all this bags of what looks like bird seed. So it's called sweet pea though. These are the guys that are bringing it, the resin millers. They're happy. You got your resin, I'm guessing this is the hardener, yeah? It is. So you got your resin, you got your hardener, you got your bird seed, and then they've got this little thing here, this little sledge. You pour it in there, pull that across, and it all comes out. A little bit like I had to do like the yellow lines and stuff, I suppose, on the road. I'm guessing anyway. But you know what I'm most excited about? Is not only is this resin drive going to look fantastic, it's going to make my white steel fence look even better. Are you polishing your trowel there, Mark?
Polishing my trowel, mate, yeah.
Look at that. And then in the back garden, I like this brown, Charlotte.
I know you like this.
This is very warm.
Brown, isn't it?
This is very nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, saddling classic. It's what all the sheds have been done in. It's brilliant stuff. Here they are. This is a temporary fix of the pathway which we destroyed. So,
Sausage roll.
they basically mix the resin up in this thing here, look. It's like cake mixer. So it gets shoved in there, and then they come and put it in their wheelbarrow, but they cover their wheelbarrow in plastic, but not this. So whether they just don't care about this or whether that's just a different thing, but they do care about the wheelbarrows. So they don't want that covered in resin.
Yeah.
And then I'm guessing this thing, the old sled, maybe, I saw him, he was setting fire to that earlier to burn it all off. So maybe they burn that off, chuck the plastic, and maybe they burn this.
They do,
Yeah.
yeah.
That's what Mark said.
That's a well-used resin mixer, that.
Yeah.
Very good.
So if you put the hardener in that, yeah. Because you're begging for birdseed. She's begging for birdseed. Oh, it's all gone in, look. Right, if it were me now, I want to know what that smells like. It doesn't smell like fiberglass, is what I would thought it would smell like. It definitely looks like birdseed, you know. This is like, you know them things you used to make for sparrows in the winter? Loads of nuts? That's that. It's like a load of golden syrup and some nuts, basically.
Then with it all mixed up, they pour it onto the drive and I get a little lesson in how to spread birdseed about.
So do you like pack this down? You trying to make it firm or just smooth?
Yeah, so you're essentially just rolling it over like so, you're just locking all them stones in together as well as keeping it flat.
Look at that.
What I like to do is just make it absolutely perfect fit the edges. See there, like that. Some people leave it, but I like it.
This whole thing, they're going to get it all done in 2 hours. And to be fair, I mean, we look at it, just pour it in,
Oh,
bit of spreading,
competition, Colin.
bit of spreading, and then it's all good. I think you'll get it done in 2 hours. I mean, look, you've done that bit nearly already. I think Mark's he's going slow now, just on purpose.
Yeah.
Oh, look, he's way faster than you, Mark. Look at that, look. He's on a price. You're on time and materials. Look at it. This is a boy that wants to get home to watch something. Look, look at him. Why are you rushed then, mate? You're clearly you got somewhere to be, ain't you? So once part's out of reach, are you kind of screwed then, or is that when you get old longy?
Then you have to kind of go over it like we are doing now.
Yeah.
Right, I had to have a go at this, didn't I?
You really don't want to be working any further than like a hand, like there's your max really.
Yeah. There we go. I can put resin drives on the side of my van there.
yeah. Colin first.
Underground tunnels and resin drives.
Very satisfying, isn't
It is. Right.
Yeah.
I think with the worry of time.
Yeah, so that's one thing you do kind of have to worry about a little bit is
Is time. So that's my resining done for me. It's one of them things where you just got to keep doing it. You get a knack for it. You know how to do your trowel, you'll get faster. Mark was all nice and steady, and then Sam, or whatever his name was, just literally come in.
Yes, Colin. But while they do this resining, let's talk about some car lift stuff. Okay, the car lift. Now, last video I did on this channel pretty much was me talking about how I'm going to do it. And of course, loads of you got in touch with suggestions. I've had all sorts of videos and stuff sent to me, CAD drawings and things like that. And of course, lots of emails from people obviously offering help or offering suggestions. And one of the things that was embedded in all those emails is somewhere that I should go and visit.
Okay, people, we are going to Lift Tech at XL. So one of the things that came from all the emails that people were sending me about the car lift is there's a few car companies who are like, you should come to Lift Tech. And I was like, how's Lift Tech? Turns out Lift Tech is a lift show which happens every 3 years. So that was good timing, wasn't it, Colin? So we're going to go there. We're going to see if we can see any lifts. I'm hoping there will be some car lifts there, but having not been to Lift Tech before, I don't know. It might be a complete waste of time. But there's a couple of people there that said they'll be there. Come and talk to us. We'll see if I can physically see anything and see how we get on. And if not, it's just a lovely day out the shed. So let's go and see Lift Tech.
So we blag our way into Lift Tech, and when we get there, of course, I'm talking to lots of people. I'm explaining what I'm doing, what I'm trying to do. They show me all sorts of their products, different things, different cable strapping, and of course, little safety devices. But then I met this guy, Liam. Now, Liam knew of the project. He understood that I wanted to make it myself, everything I was trying to achieve, and he basically took me around the place saying you want their controllers, you want their hydraulics, everything like that. Very useful person, so you're going to see a lot more of Liam. But what else did we learn from the day?
And I think the main issue that has come from today is that I've only got single phase power, and everything there was mostly run off 3-phase. Now, admittedly, a lot of the things there were like heavy applications like lifts for buildings, do you know what I mean? Big commercial stuff like that. So they probably would say that, but it still is going to open a lot more options if I can get 3-phase power to the house.
So, got in contact with National Grid. They've come out, they've scanned the path. There is 3-phase in the path, so they found out where the cable is. Then they've come back, they've dug the path up, found the cable, they split it, then send the new cable through them spare ducts which I installed into the concrete slab. I knew they'd come in handy. So there we are. We've got 3-phase power now. We can have the hydraulic pump that we need to do the job. Okay, so got a new 3-phase cable coming down this little duct which we're putting in the corner, and then there'll be a new fuse board which will sit here, and eventually this will be the fuse board that feeds the whole underground system, so the garage, the tunnel and the bunker. At the moment, the tunnel and the bunker both got separate fuse boards in, so they'll get disconnected and it'll all be under the one system, coming through here, big fat power supply, boom, that's what we want. Right, how they're getting on with the resin in, because I think they're nearly finished now, on the drive. And yes, I know they're not up there at the minute doing it because timeline wise this video is all over the place, but just go with it.
That's all it. Is it going to be the sweat this week? No.
Callum's on the old spinny polishy thingy. Look at it, it's nearly done. Just the last little bit. They're working out in the sunshine now. I don't know whether that means they're going to work faster though, because it goes off quicker. Probably does. Constantine's having a go now, and he's got Crocs on. I can't get round that. He's turned up in Crocs. Constantine here. You what, sorry? Oh yeah, sorry, he likes to be called I mean, it's a strange name if I'm honest with you. Like, where's it? Yeah, I don't think I've ever met anyone called Constantine. It's, I don't even know what it's like. Like, is it like a car name, or the Vauxhall Constantine, or? Do you know what I mean?
He compared me to a car.
Well, it's just...
So there is a Roman emperor called Constantine.
Yeah?
So maybe that.
Maybe. Or that's a very good thing to hark back to.
Yeah,
So, an emperor. It's better than like a little two-door family saloon or like a form of sugar or something. Oh yeah, you want to put some Constantine sugar in that cake? That'll bring it up.
I'm going to put that on the shirt instead.
Charlotte and Freddie have come for inspections.
Freddie, what's your take, Freddie? Hey? What's your take?
What's my take?
Yeah, what do you think?
Fantastic.
Fantastic. He normally swears more, but when you actually actively point the camera at him, he does stop swearing. You need to catch him off guard, and then there's a lot of beeping to do. So we've got this little sledge, look. Just realised I haven't filmed any of this. There it disappears. Look at that. And on here, the corner. Look at this, look, we have reached the pavement.
And once it's all spread out and smoothened off, it's finished. And it looks so much better. See? I'm not really a bad neighbour, am I? Okay, massive thank you to Mark for doing that. If you go and check his channel out, and if you actually watch his video, he has like hidden codes within his video where you can send him like, the code that you found, and then you potentially could get your garden done for free. So, you know, what a dude. So thanks to him, thanks to Resin Mill, the people that supplied the resin. They're also going to be supplying the resin for mine once mine is finished. Now, mine's not finished at the minute, and I thought, you know, I've got quite a lot to do before we put the topping on because the car lift needs building and all the sensors and stuff that might have to be put in. So I was going to do that last. But in the meantime, I thought, rather than it just being bare concrete, because it looks terrible now up against the one next door, I thought I'd put some temporary gravel down. And who do we need for that? Yes, Mr. Tom Lamb to the rescue!
We needed the cheaper option for the gravelling of the driveway.
So I don't know if Tom's
Tell me
talking
when,
there, but
Colin.
what he was most annoyed about earlier is I said, oh, have you got 20 tonne on
Colin's
there?
given
And he
me
said,
a
no,
microphone.
14. And then he was like, damn, I should have said 20 and I could have billed you for 20. So I'll just have to pay for 14.
Oh, I've gone wrong. I'm going to have to pull forward now. My backing skills aren't as good as what they
Tractor
used to
might be a
be.
little bit too big for this estate.
Tell me when, Colin. Tell me when. Just put your thumb up and tell me when.
That's it, come a bit further.
When?
That'll do.
Is that good? Now, the idea of this is, if you tip the trailer as fast as possible.
Here he goes.
Sort
He
of
reckons if he
spreads
puts
it
it
out
really
for
fast, it will spread itself out. Ah, kind of right. Is that as high as it goes? Oh no, here we are.
Ah, it's all gone down the hole.
There we are. Just leave it like that, I think. Nice. Can we blow it around?
Colin,
Nah,
I'm sorry.
that ain't gonna work. Now, just got to spread it around. But Tom did say he might come back with a mini digger.
Sorry, Colin, I got it down the hole.
I might take that up. You what?
Sorry, Colin, I got it down the hole.
What hole?
That hole, look.
Oh, don't worry about that, that's all right.
I dug it out, now I'm filling it in.
I know. It feels unnatural for Tom to be putting stuff back in. I've employed the local children and my son to deliver this gravel to the right places. Yeah, Jake Furr's gravel shifter. With his crocs. Constantine has affected my son.
Ah, yes, very nice, Colin, very nice. Okay, but never mind all that. What about the car lift? Right, let's go to the barn, have a look, because I've started it. So we'll see what I'm up to, see where it's going, see what's happening, and then basically that is what I'm working on now. And, well, I say it's not all I'm working on. I'm going to get the rock wall finished. You'll see that video before you see the car lift video. And also Magnet Store, the people that supplied the magnets for the wonderful magnet bike. I've got a load more, because obviously we need to do another version of that. And also something else, because there was one of the suggestions in the comments where I'm like, yes, I'm having that. But anyway, barn, car lift, come with me. Come on, come on, come with me. Come with me. Ah, here we are, back in the barn. Not back in the barn, we're in the barn. Okay, right, what we're doing. So, essentially, this is going to be like a test leg for the thing which pushes everything up. That little wooden thing I've got in the model with the 4 legs on. Essentially, this is one of those legs. But there is so much to consider here because it's got to go up smoothly. So it's got to have shims in it. So I've got these little shims things designed in here with these little adjusters and everything. Because as well as designing this thing that works and is safe,
I've got to be able to maintain it, and I've got to be able to work on it when it's all in situation. And also somebody else potentially has got to fix this as well, because I don't want to build this as a Colin only Colin in the world can ever fix this with all this equipment and everything like that. So although you're not going to get off the shelf parts for this, of course, I want it to be like, oh, that's just a bit of that with that drilled in it. And also it's a bit simpler, isn't it? So anyway, this is the outer leg, that's there, and then the inner leg is this one. Let me just flip the screen. So there is the inner leg. Now, one of my initial problems is the shims for the inner leg sit on the top here. Of course, when the outer leg slides over it, you're not going to be able to get to those bolts there. Now, you could bolt it potentially from the inside, but then of course there's going to be a big hydraulic ram sticking out here. Again, that's going to cause problems. So do I have them on slots? So you slot them down and then you can sort of, you know, get a spanner in. You could slide a spanner in there to tighten it up, but you don't want, you're not going to get your hand in to actually put bolts in. So these are all the little things I've got to sort out. Now what I'm going to do in a minute, I'm going to lift that, put it on the bench, and then at some point I'm going to slide them into each other. And then the other thing I need to work out, the hydraulic rams have all got to be made bespoke because it's got a 2.5 metre or 2.4 metre stroke on it. You can't buy them off the shelf. They always have to be made, and then of course you can make them to your own specifications. They only need to be single acting, they don't need to be double acting, and then they can have these things called pipe blow off valves built into them, so if any of the pipes rupture, a pipe rupture valve, that's what they're called. That's built into the inlet of the ram, so if anything fails, it locks it off. And this is the nice thing about hydraulics other than cables and stuff like that. It's a bit more safer because the weight that is going to be on all four of these legs, of course, is going to be pretty extreme. It could potentially have to do 2 cars, the concrete slab and the inner ramp. So we're probably looking at easily 8-10 ton, which, you know, spread out over each leg. It's only 2.5 ton a leg, but still, do you know what I mean? It's a lot going on, Right, let's get that on there, and then I need to work out as well, because the hydraulic ram doesn't go all the way to the bottom of this leg because of 2.4 Colin metre stroke. This leg at the moment is 3.8 metres, which is the depth of the actual pit. It's going to be a little bit less than that, but again, until I've had the cylinders made and know what's top and bottom of them, I'm kind of trying to mech all this up at the minute. So there needs to be a little witness hole at the bottom or somewhere down it where you can put the pin across to lock it in, and then also the inlet where the hydraulics is and the hose to come out, because of course you need to be able to get to that all the time. So if there's any leaks or any issues, you can access that without the lift having to go up, basically. So I've drawn a lot of this in CAD, but there's these little things which you kind of think like, it looks all right on the screen, but in reality, can I get my hand in there and things like that? So, right, let's pick that up. Let's put it on there. I'm going to do that. Righty-ho. Right, that's all on the bench. So, essentially, let me just flip this round so I can see it. The hydraulic ram will stick out the end here, so obviously you can get to however it fixes at the top. Now, it's probably not going to be a pin. It'll probably be something which it rests up against, because you're not going to have 3 ton or whatever on a 30mm pin, you know, essentially. So that wants to be something like properly wedged up against it, basically, so you're not just relying on a pin. Yeah, you said that, Colin. So that's going to stick out there. These pads, like I said, need to be serviceable when that is over the top of it. Now, I've had an idea, not putting them on the actual box, actually putting a slither of metal out. It's so cold in here. If you put something like that sticking out and then put them on the top of it, then you've got more shim space, and then also I can have slots down there so I can slide them over to it. Oh, very nice idea, Colin. So that's that. Right, that'll go over there. Now then, we don't need to get to any of these ports here, because on the proper one there won't be a top port because it's single acting. But down here the equivalent of the bottom port. So there needs to be a little window here where you can see the hose connection and also the bottom pin or whatever, because I mean there's going to be a pin of some sort to hold the actual ram into place, but it's not going to, the weight is not going to be on the pin. That is the point I'm trying to make. So there'll be a little window here, that'll be for that, and then obviously the hose, if it sticks out a little bit, has got to then tuck in and go down the bottom. Now then, it's all going to sit on some big plates. This is basically two 10mm plates here. And the top one's not threaded, the bottom one is threaded. By the way, if you're doing a lot of threading, you want to get yourself one of these impact tools. I'll overlay some video of me basically slotting that in. Essentially, you can just spray it up with lube and just keep firing it off. It's very quick, very good. So that will weld on the bottom here, but there'll have to be a little window here for the hydraulic tubes to come out. Also, maybe any sensors or anything like that, although I think they're mostly going to be on this one. Now, this does not want to come all the way to the bottom because you've got them tubes coming out, there'll be a plate on there, and then there's probably going to be a bit of box or something like this which spans across them, which can also have like a stopper on, which will go up to this, so when the whole thing comes down, you can adjust where it actually finally sits at the end, so you can fine tune that with whatever's above it. So obviously it's definitely dead flush, and also there's just a lovely feature to have. So, but essentially though, what I need to think about, of course, is when that comes to a halt, the whole weight of the four legs and the top potentially will be sitting on whatever that is, which is obviously quite heavy, plus potentially a car sat on the top. Although there could be more of these round the perimeter of the lid, so it might actually not be taking that much weight. Anyway, I'm not too fussed about that at the minute, it's the least of my problems. So that's the setup I've got, that's what I'm doing. Now there'll be another update on this channel. I'm filming this is Wednesday at the moment, you're watching this on a Thursday if you've watched it straight away. Essentially I've got 3 jobs on the go. This is kind of the priority, but at some point I'm going to have to order some hydraulic rams. They're not going to get made overnight. That's probably going to be like a week, 2 weeks, and then I'll drop on the other one. So I keep doing little bits. Obviously ordering the steel and stuff, you have to wait. This is 8mm thick box. Originally I got some 10, but like the weight saving, just going from 8 to 10, I think I saved about 400 kilos just on the legs. And I kind of thought, like, all the stresses on these are all vertical. There's no sideways ones. So I thought you could reduce the wall. That's not going to be an issue. So the middle one's 10. So, but you don't lift them up, which is good. That's where, you know, it has to take strength. Okay, I think we're about done on this video now because I brought you up to date. Sorry it took so long to do the old second channel stuff, but you know, I'm only one person. There we are. Right. Get on with that, Colin. I'll see you in the next one. Have a good day.